And hello, welcome to our show. It is Sunday, January 31st, 2021. Hello to all of you out there. And hello, Zach. How are you?
Fine.
Ooh, he actually said fine this week. Not average. Did the average thing get old?
I don't know. I just mind, okay?
So anyway, yeah, what's new with you? You weren't here last week. Presumably you were busy with stuff.
Not really much right now.
So, are you at liberty to say what you were doing last week or not?
I'm always at liberty to say what I was doing. Sometimes I just don't feel like it.
Is it that you don't feel like telling me or you don't feel like telling the stream?
It's completely irrelevant.
Oh man, yep, you have not changed any at all.
What made me change? I don't understand. Whatever. Forget it.
Yep, typical Zach. Anyway, so anything new with you?
Not yet. Maybe in the near future, though.
Oh,
There.
that either means that you are moving, or actually, okay. So here are my speculations. You're either moving, you're leaving your current employer, or you're getting a promotion at your employer. Am I at least on the right track?
But we'll see what happens.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Yes, you are, but we will see what happens.
Oh, okay. I see. So, a couple weeks ago, I had applied for a position with a security company, and I haven't heard back yet. No, they said it was going to be a couple weeks. I don't know. During the interview process, the interviewer didn't think that I had the background in IT skills that they were looking for. And part of the issue with that is I don't have anything on my resume in terms of an IT position. So everything is just kind of word of mouth, which is, take it what it is. So because school doesn't seem to be working for me, I've decided to try to branch out on my own and figure out some way that I can actually have something that basically kind of says I actually know what I'm doing. Now look, Zach, you know I know what I'm doing. I don't have to ask you twice. But
About some things.
huh?
About some things.
I would argue that in certain areas I have more experience than you do.
I'm sure you do.
I
I would have said that same statement to literally anyone. So
what statement? That I'm sure in some areas
in
I have
some
more
things, yes.
Like your knowledge of hardware is better than my knowledge of hardware. Like even still, like even like I don't keep up with the latest stuff. I know you haven't really kept up with it either, but
I've been keeping up a little bit more.
but your knowledge of hardware, and especially like older hardware, way better than what my knowledge is. On the opposite end of the spectrum, let's take something like Linux. I am probably more proficient at the command line than you are.
I mean, I can Google my way through it, okay? Don't worry about it.
I can Google my way through it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. But what if you don't have Google as a resource? I mean, you will.
Is this the old, like, in math class? What if you don't have a calculator in the real world? Whatever.
Sometimes
Carry around Google and a calculator in my pocket.
Sometimes you don't, though. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, yes, you can, but like, it's
sometimes you don't, except that's basically fake news. Sorry, I don't believe you there. Like, Any case where I would not have Google is just like, what? Am I trying to like do IT in like in like the desert or something in Antarctica? Oh, I gotta fix the servers, at the South Pole. Okay. Dang, Google, I can't reach Google. What do I do?
Actually, here's an
Okay,
interesting
whatever.
question: is how much of your Cisco iOS commands do you remember?
Enough to Google them.
Okay. Enough to Google them. Enough to Google your way through to be able to configure a device if you had to. Basically.
Yeah, and let's also remember that adjusting the configuration of a device that already has been configured is much easier to Google your way through than
Oh no, I'm talking
setting
like
up a full new device.
I'm talking like flat, like, from the factory, like unconfigured iOS, or unconfigured device. So we're talking, management, VLANs, and probably NAT somewhere in there, maybe DHCP if it's a router. I actually don't know if I know how to do the I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to do the DHCP. And I think probably at an enterprise level, you probably wouldn't necessarily use the router as a DHCP server. You probably deploy that on either bare metal, but more than likely these days, probably on a VM, in a Windows Server environment.
The last job that I had, it was Windows.
I was going to say, yeah, most of the time, I think your DNS...
I have no idea what the people at my current job use because they sit up in their ivory towers and don't talk to us peasants.
I think if it were me, I think, or not me, but I think what a lot of places do is I think they combine the DHCP server and like a DNS server into one machine.
Yes.
Because that just makes sense. And then if you have that kind of infrastructure, if you're running Active Directory, that's more than likely going to be on a separate VM or separate server. Most of these are probably going to be at VMs these days because it's just more efficient. So, your domain controller is going to be one VM. You may tie Active Directory into that base domain controller. You may separate it. If you've got thin clients, you're definitely probably going to have another instance for terminal services. So way beyond what I know nothing about terminal services. I know it's kind of a cool type or like cool thing. But beyond that, I know nothing more. I have enough info like you to walk myself through Windows Server. Enough to be able to set up a domain controller and enough to be able to set up Active Directory. And actually, I found out something interesting. I don't know if I've talked about this on the show before. So, did you know that when you have computers connected to a domain controller, that they actually pull the time from the domain controller and not go out to the internet and ask what time it is?
I did know that because I've dealt with it before.
Yeah, so that is their default behavior. Now, what I didn't realize was that the server itself does not go out to the internet and ask what time it is. You actually have to set that up. Did you know that?
I've never set one of those up.
Yeah, so anyway, so I realized this, right? It's like an NTP server, I think is what it is. But we kept having issues where our clocks kept getting off at the church. And I had finally finally figured out that it was going to the server and asking what time it was. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I finally realized that the server itself wasn't actually pulling the time from the internet. So I had to figure out how to get that done. Where was it pulling the time from, Zach? Any guesses?
Well, it happened to you, so you tell me.
I was just curious if you had any idea as to where it was pulling the time from, if it wasn't pulling it from the internet.
I don't know.
It was pulling it from the system clock. Like the BIOS clock, basically.
I see.
And so anyway, yeah, so you go in and you configure some group policies and then it changes stuff. But I had some other group policies, I think, set in some other places that were overriding the one group policy that I was trying to change. And so that was fun. And then ended up getting that fixed, but then ended up reverting some other group policies that I wanted on the server, but not on any of the other systems. So we're running Windows 10 on all of our stuff. So you used to have to go up to a computer, and I don't know, in your workplace, are you guys on a domain?
Of course we are.
Oh, well, some places don't. I don't know. Some places like my current employer, our systems aren't on a domain. They're just in a work group. Actually, we have 2 separate networks. Actually, I think we have more than that, but we have 2 separate physical, wired networks. All of our back office stuff is on a separate network, and then our register is on its own separate isolated network, and that's for PCI compliance and all that fun stuff. Anyway, so when you log in, you guys are probably running Windows 10, if I had to guess, right, on all your systems?
Mostly.
On your Windows,
but not all of them.
Okay, on your Windows 10 systems, though, your workstation's probably Windows 10, isn't it?
Oh, you bet it is.
So on your workstation, when you log in the morning, do you have to press Control-Alt-Delete, or have they bypassed that?
I do not.
Okay, so that is a setting that I think, well, actually, it goes all the way back to the XP days, I think, but most places had it turned on for whatever reason. I don't know if that was the default or whatever. Anyway, so in the Windows 10 systems that I've seen that have been on domains, they have neglected, or they decided not to use that anymore. And so that we're doing the same thing at the church. Now on the server, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of nostalgic and something to do with security. That was kind of the whole idea behind the whole Control-Alt-Delete thing, was a security thing. I don't know. So anyway, I have left it on the domain controller.
I don't know what it actually did, to be honest.
Well, it was a certain combination that was, I think, difficult to replicate through software or something. I don't know. I know it had to do with security or something like that, though.
That is strange.
So I've left it on the server, but when I went and changed some of the group policies, what it was doing was it was enabling. It was either all or nothing on all the systems. It was either all the systems you had to press Control-Alt-Delete, or none of the systems you had to press Control-Alt-Delete. So after playing with group policy for a couple days, I ended up fixing it. But yeah, that was fun. But no, so what I've decided to do, Zach, I've spent some money. Hopefully it pays off. I am studying for my CompTIA A+ certification.
Okay.
So now, as with most of these things, they have a series of questions, right?
Yep, they do.
Let's see here. I'm curious to see what you kind of think. So let me throw this up here. Let's see. This question right here. For maximum performance, what type of double data rate, or DDR, synchronous DRAM, or SDRAM memory module should be used when upgrading RAM in a laptop? Here are your options: SODIMM DDR4, SODIMM or DIMM DDR4, SODIMM DDR, DIMM DDR.
Well, it's obviously SODIMM DDR4 because you can't put a normal DIMM in a laptop.
Okay, but see, it says, and here's the thing, yeah, based off the answers, right? But here's what I don't necessarily like about this. It says for maximum performance, what type of double date rate synchronous DRAM memory module should you use when upgrading a RAM in a laptop? Okay, yes, you're right. You have to use a SODIMM because a DIMM won't fit. A regular size DIMM won't fit.
And obviously DDR4 is much faster than DDR.
You're right, but here's the thing: is yes, those are the answers. But the problem with this question is does it support DDR4? Because it has to support that. You can't just throw DDR4 into a system and be off and running.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Yeah.
You can't exactly put DDR4 in something that won't support it because it just will not fit. unless you break the slot, in which case, why did
Will
you
it
do
not
that?
fit,
What's
or it
wrong
just
with
won't
you?
work? Have they changed
It
the
will not
slotting?
fit.
So
At
they
least compared to DDR3. I don't know.
so
I
they've
don't know
changed the
about the other
slotting.
ones. I'm pretty sure they're all keyed differently though.
Oh, see, that's what I was asking. Was if they're keyed differently. So yeah, so in this case, yep, sodium. Go away. Sodium DDR4. Okay. Let's see. And this is the thing about this. You have to decipher what it is that they're actually wanting you to answer in these questions. And sometimes I feel like they leave important information out. Here you go, Zach.
I feel like that was a common sense answer.
Okay, fine. You are a help desk technician responding to a ticket that states the user's laptop optical drive is no longer working. Here we go, okay? The user indicates that the drive is only used to exchange large files with another user who has poor network service. So which of these would be the most cost-effective and convenient solution to this help desk ticket? Offer the user an external optical drive, offer the user an external hard drive, order an internal optical drive replacement, replace the optical drive with an internal hard drive.
External hard drive. That seems clear. It's stated that it seems clear to me because it's stated that it's barely ever used, and also note the keywords cost effective and time efficient or whatever they said. Cost effective and convenient. An external CD drive is definitely the way to go. I mean, you just plug it in when you need it and get rid of it when you don't, right?
Wait, what did you say? An
Makes sense to
external
me.
what?
The external optical drive.
You think, but it's not the answer.
What?
It is the external hard drive.
Well, okay, I actually, sure. I mean, that kind of makes some sense, but
You see what I mean? Because
Sounds
I
to me
picked
like-
the optical drive the first time too.
it sounds to me like they set the expectation that the user wants or requires optical media. use,
Exactly.
right?
Yes. Okay.
Like,
You're a help desk
What?
technician. Okay.
Ugh.
They state that
No,
the
that-
user's laptop optical drive is no longer working. Okay, fine. And that's what they're using to copy the files. So yeah, you're right. I would think that it would be the external optical drive. But no, they are saying that it is the external hard drive. There you go. The answer is that. I don't understand that one. I was exactly with you. And that's what I'm saying, is you have to decipher what it is that they want in these questions sometimes. Like, okay, fine. Yes, like, okay, poor network performance. Okay, so you're probably carrying files around somehow. Okay? But I would make the argument here that while, yes, okay, fine. And here's probably the thing, right? They're saying large files. Okay, yes, you can put large files on a DVD or something like that and use an an optical drive, but like, yeah, it's probably more convenient to just copy it onto an external hard drive. Okay, I see the logic here, but you're right. The question makes it seem like they're setting it up where it's like, well, this is the only way they're doing
Yeah, I
it.
feel like that's a dumb question. Like they clearly, yeah. Well, if somebody came to me with that, I would go in with the expectation that they want to continue using CD drive.
Or I would ask more questions.
Usually, people who use CDs need to use them for specific reasons, which are kind of usually dumb reasons, but whatever. That's just what they prefer to do.
I was talking to somebody yesterday about like IT stuff, and I mentioned printers and how much I dislike printers, and they were like, that's like really common in the IT world. It's like everyone seems to hate printers. It's like, yep.
Well, yeah, because they always break.
I'll tell you a funny story. So I get a phone call from our office secretary at the church the other day, right? It was like a couple weeks ago. And she's like, are you able to, set my default printer in QuickBooks to our back office printer? I need to print some checks today. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do that. Because the other one wasn't working. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm like, crap, I'm gonna have to go look at a printer. So, like, the next week I get a chance to go down there, look at the printer. There's a sheet of paper that's, jammed in there, and she knew that, and that's what had been happening. It was getting jammed up. And so I'm immediately thinking, like, I don't know, the rollers may be worn out or something like that. Like, that's probably where your mind would go too.
Always something just really dumb.
And oh yeah, any guesses as to I fixed the solution, or I fixed the problem in about...
I'm sure it just worked magically after a reboot or something horrible, stupid like that.
It was stupid simple. It wasn't a reboot. Any guesses as to what I did? I swear, it literally took me like 2 seconds.
I have no idea. Let's see, maybe you reloaded the paper or something.
I took the paper out, flipped it upside down, and put it back in.
Of course. Why not, right?
My theory is that, I don't know, maybe the paper is crinkled weird and it was causing it to get jam. I don't know. Like, sure. Okay. Let's see. So Zach, when upgrading the keyboard in a laptop, what do you need to make sure what do you need to do to make sure the keyboard functions properly? Install a new keyboard with the same OEM part number, reinstall the old driver, remove the new ribbon cable, install a new driver.
OEM part number? I'm sure this is another dumb trick question, but...
Let's see. So when upgrading the keyboard in a laptop, what do you need to do to make sure that the keyboard functions properly? Look, okay, installing a new keyboard with the same OEM part number, like, yeah, okay, sure. Let's see. Reinstalling the old driver, remove the ribbon cable, install a new driver. See, my mind wants to say the drivers? Upgrading, because you're upgrading the keyboard.
I mean, you pretty much never have to install drivers for a keyboard.
Yes, but remember, this asks dumb questions.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
And that is the answer right there.
Are you serious? What a bunch of trash. This is dumb.
Yep, there you go.
Clearly written by someone who's never actually done that. Modern operating systems pretty much, well...
Have you seen the picture?
The vast majority of my expertise is with Windows, so I'll speak about Windows. When you replace a keyboard in a laptop that runs Windows, it's not going to require you to install any new drivers.
In fact, I'm pretty sure Windows has base drivers in it that make keyboards work. Like, that's part of the OS.
Windows has a lot of generic drivers for things. Yeah, that's
actually,
another dumb.
Isn't it even lower level than that? Because, like, USB keyboards work in the BIOS.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know.
Almost always, anyway.
Okay, which of these would you typically want to replace with the same original equipment manufacturer part on a laptop? A smart card reader, disks, a central processing unit, or RAM?
Probably not necessarily any of those things, but CPU, whatever.
Smart card reader.
What?
So the smart card readers are apparently very particular. It has to do something with like the security of them, is my understanding.
Do people even use those?
Well, I think they're more on USB drives these days. In fact, somebody that I know, they had brought their work computer down to the church one night to use it to do a presentation, and they actually have one of those like little like USB drive stick things, because they plugged it in, and oh my gosh, you should have seen the password field. It went crazy. It was like all the way across.
Whatever, I don't know. The real joke is that on most newer laptops, you probably can't replace any of those things without resoldering stuff.
Yeah, because field serviceable parts are not a thing anymore. Here you go, Zach. You want to upgrade the old video card in a laptop to high-end dedicated graphics. Your goal is to turn it into a gaming machine to replace your desktop. What problem might you face when trying to accomplish this? You could face audio issues. The laptop could overheat. You may experience Wi-Fi problems. The laptop may not, or may run out of memory.
Well, it could overheat. I mean, that's what I would go with. I don't know. This is getting annoying though.
You're right. Yes.
It's like they don't even care about teaching you something. It's like they just want to catch you out on dumb trick questions. Like, haha, got you. Made you think it was this way.
You're actually okay. Fine. You're actually right on this one, and here's why. Okay, fine. The graphics card has absolutely nothing to do with audio, right? So, like, that's out. Okay. It also has nothing to do with Wi-Fi. So, like, not going to affect that. Now, okay, the laptop may run out of memory. But here's the thing. What do most graphics cards already have in them, Zach?
Video memory.
Exactly. Onboard video memory. So it's not using your internal memory. So the only logical option is that the laptop could overheat. And in fact, I didn't even know you could upgrade the graphics card in a laptop. Is that possible?
In specific cases, yes, it's not usually very easy or cheap to do so.
Okay. No matter how long you leave it plugged into a known good power outlet, when you unplug your laptop, it dies. During your troubleshooting, you clean the battery's contacts and make sure it is properly seated. When you replace the battery with a known good battery of the same model, it works fine. What could you determine is the most likely cause of the problem? Do you know without me even asking any of the, or giving you any of the choices?
Of course, the battery is donezo.
Mm-hmm. The battery is most likely completely, or the battery has ended its useful life. Next question. Oh, what is the best option when replacing plastics or aluminum frames on a laptop, Zach? Disassemble the chassis and the plastic bezels, upgrade the plastics and aluminum frames. If it is under warranty, send it to the manufacturer to get it repaired, or obtain the manufacturer's service documentation before you replace it.
I have no idea. What are you even doing? Like, I don't get it.
So like, let's say like the frame on a computer or something like that breaks, or like on a laptop, like the case breaks or something like that. That's what you're doing. I'll be out here. If it's under warranty, send it into the manufacturer to get it repaired, because then you ain't got to deal with it.
Okay. No more. I'm done. They're dumb. I'm bored.
Okay. So, anyway. Oops. So, yeah. So that is what I am going through right now. So, you know, part of the thing is that the questions are meant to make you think. And, you know, kind of use some logic. But yeah, you're right. Some of those...
It makes me feel like they're meant to make you think about how the writers are trying to get you, not what's actually the right answer.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is that you have to determine what it is that they're actually wanting. But you're right. My thought process went straight to the optical drive too, on that question. And you know, here would be an argument as well, Zach, is that how much does an external optical drive cost?
$20 at the most.
Okay, how much does an external hard drive cost?
At least 50.
Yeah, and part of the question said economical. Like, if it was working before, like, why change it? I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm working for. So
No idea.
I have to take 2 separate tests in order to pass the to obtain the certification. So, but anyway, at least I'll have something that's accredited, and I could actually take to an employer and say, "Here, I actually know what I'm doing." So yeah. But yeah. Here, let's talk about this because this will enrage you. Remember our good friend Mr. Ajit Pai?
Mr. no longer works for the FCC?
That's actually true. Well, Mr. Ajit Pai has declared that 3 megabits per second uploads are still good enough for you.
Well, I declare that his brain is probably not capable of 3 megabits per second. So maybe that's why he thinks that's the case. But most of us are capable of more than that. So
I need to save that. I need to save that. Former FCC chairman Ajit Pai has left the building, but not without giving the telecom industry one last pat on the back. In his final annual broadband report, he decided that 3 megabits per second upload speeds and 25 megabit per second download speeds are still more than enough for Americans. Okay, fine. Look, okay, 25 megabits per second down is not great, but I would argue that that's probably more than most people have.
It's very poor. The fact that most people are stuck with that does not make it acceptable.
Yep. Look, when I finally move, like, one of the considerations is, like, do I have access to good internet? I'm scared about that. Because right now I do. We find that the current speed benchmark of 25.3 remains an appropriate measure by which to assess whether a fixed service is providing advanced telecommunication capabilities. What?
What a bonehead.
25.3. For comparison, and again, we've talked about this multiple times on the show before, right? But why is it? What is it? Speedtest.net? Is that what it is? I wonder if this actually still works. Maybe I took that down. I can't remember. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't do that. Well, here, I'm going to run this real quick here. Okay, we've talked about this before. How is it, though, that a small telecommunication company, a small private telecommunication company, right, in my town is able to provide me, let's see here. What is my download speed? 94.49 gigs. And an upload speed of what? Like 41? For reference, our target speeds are supposed to be 100 down and 50 up. And obviously you're going to have a little fluctuation. But yeah, why is it that my small telecommunication company can do that, right? In my town, but yet a major telecommunication company like, oh, I don't know, Charter or Comcast or, Charter, Comcast, Spectrum, are Charter and Spectrum the same thing? Anyway, why is it that they can't provide this?
Because that would require them to receive less profits. Okay, that's the problem, right?
Really? Because
yep. Don't question it.
Oh, really? Because it was such a problem during the coronavirus when you guys decided that data caps weren't an issue. I'm just saying. Just saying. And I know we're talking about upload speeds and stuff right here, but like, Actually, is it that it's not that they're not capable of pushing these speeds? Because a lot of, well, actually, I'm sure most of the, actually, I don't know how much of the infrastructure you actually think is fiber these days.
I have no idea.
I would
idea.
argue that most of it's probably to the node at least, and then from the node to your home is copper. Which, if I think about it, okay, yeah, you probably can get a gigabit connection over copper if it's coming from the node.
I mean, if you have enough copper, you can have anything.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah. Oh, here we go. How come? Well, because the FCC feels that as much as it's required to do, or that's as much as it's required to do by law, Zach. We conclude that fixed services with speeds of 25.3 continue to meet the statutory definition of advanced telecommunication capabilities.
Advanced.
Wow.
What a joke.
Are we living in the days of dial-up here? And like this is like the leading edge right now? Because look, I'm sure it probably was at one point in time.
Of course it was.
But excuse me. But not anymore. Like not when we're capable of speeds of gigabit these days. You know what I mean? Anyway. Let's see, I lost my spot. This is such services enabled users to originate and receive high quality voice, data, graphics, and video telecommunications. Yeah, maybe if you're doing those one at a time. How well does your current internet connection handle multiple high bitrate streams, or sources of data hitting it and going out? Like, is it capable of handling that?
Of course it is. Jeez.
Huh?
Of course it is.
Yeah, but how well? Enough. And that's good enough, Zach?
No.
Exactly. And look,
it could be.
Here's the thing, though. Like, how many people these days are, streaming games, streaming content, usually multiple people in a household. So, look, most of that comes down to like the throughput of your network, probably, and the bandwidth. Well, not necessarily the throughput, but the bandwidth, the pipe that you have to do that with. But obviously, the more speed you have, the better that's going to be. So. Anyway, yeah, so the article here says, I don't know what you consider high quality, but that they know from experience that 5 megabits per second upload speed, which this person pays $100 a month, doesn't let their family originate much in the way of large video uploads or game streaming. $100 a month for 5 megs up?
That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yikes. Oh, this is the best part right here. The 25.3 speeds aren't even minimums. Because the annual broadband report isn't something meant to be enforced. It's a benchmark by which the FCC determines whether it's doing its job of helping to close the digital divide. Whereas many as 1 in 3 U.S. households don't have broadband internet access at all. Yeah, maybe because it's so flippin' expensive. Currently, if a single ISP claims it can deliver a single 25 megabit per second down, 3 megabit per second up internet connection anywhere in your entire census block, much less your home, the FCC considers its job done. Oh, and the FCC doesn't even audit those numbers. Let's see. Some of the reporting loopholes are getting fixed, but the speeds and the ridiculous prices in the US, or the US pays, are not. As for Pi, who tops their list of the 84 biggest tech fails of the decade. That's actually kind of funny. He's now free to find a lucrative job as a telecom industry lobbyist.
I'm sure he will.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yep. That's a thing. So, yeah. I don't know. I think, for telephone and... I'm not even sure what we pay a month for our, 100 down, 50 up. I want to say it's around $100, maybe $120 a month. Which I don't know. What do you think? And that's fiber, by the way. Do you think that's reasonable?
He's never wasting a chance to remind everyone he has fiber.
No, I'm saying that for the argument of it.
Don't know.
I mean, and it's a small telecom too.
Everyone should have gigabit.
I
think.
I agree. I think what the problem is more people should be, more everyday people should be, educated on just how much ISPs are ripping you off.
Nope.
So, anyway, let's talk about this. Have you heard the whole thing about NZXT and their something to do with their cases apparently just catching fire?
Oh, that sounds awesome. No, I haven't heard.
NZXT is recalling all H1 cases due to a design error where one of the screws can cause sparks. A screw, nice. Zach! A screw!
Nice. Very cool.
Making the case able to catch fire under normal use. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. So if you have an H1 currently, you can contact support for further assistance. NZXT didn't leave any details to the problem, gave no solution outside of contacting them. It is only hinting to making a kit to solve the problem. I have not been following this. Let me see if I can find something. Now, I watched something this morning. NZXT case. Okay, let's see what NZXT actually has to say about this. But no, I was watching a video from Gamers Nexus this morning. I didn't watch the whole thing, but apparently NZXT is kind of deciding to just kind of ignore the problem. They have made nylon screws now that are, I guess, being shipped or something like that with the new, with cases now or so. I don't know. But from what it sounded like, that NZXT really just kind of was like, oh, well, if we ignore the problem, it'll go away. Because that's a great solution right there, Zach.
Course. I mean, that's straight out of the corporate playbook of every company, right? So
here's from the NZXT blog right here. It says, what's going on? We've identified an issue with the H1 case where a short on the PCI riser cable connection can lead to a potential fire hazard. This issue has currently affected fewer than 10 H1 cases. Okay. What's the problem? We have identified that the 2 screws that attach the PCI riser assembly to the chassis may cause an electrical short circuit in the printed circuit board. Repair kits are being prepared that include 2 new screws that address the issue, along with instructions to replace them. What can customers do? Well, we identified this issue as a low probability occurrence. The absolute safest approach is to power down your H1 unit until a kit is sent out to you and other repair is made.
Just don't use your PC. Okay. Thanks for the advice.
I mean, they're not wrong, but like, from a...
Of course they're not wrong, but like, hello.
From a customer service aspect.
My PC not to use it, right?
Oh, it says you can request a repair kit at the H1 Safety Recall website. These kits will allow users to make the repair at home by replacing both screws that attach the PCI assembly to the case. Customers can also reach out through our H1 Direct contact channels, included below, for more information. Let's see. Is there a temporary fix? If you'd like to perform a temporary fix on your H1 case while you wait for your repair kit to arrive, we recommend the following procedure as outlined below. Important, please contact our customer support team if you have any questions or concerns about removing parts from the case. I'll come back to that in a second. We also recommend you watch our H1 walkthrough video or read our H1 panel remover guide. Oh, good gosh. If you're unfamiliar with removing parts from the case. Can we just pause for a moment there and just say how cringy all of that sounds real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's review real quick. Okay, so NZXT is recommending you just don't use your computer, right? Which we know most people aren't going to do. So is there a temporary fix? Yes, opening the computer. But when they start putting reference material on how to remove the side panel, yikes. I would make the argument that if you don't know how to remove the side panel from your computer, yeah, probably
how did you put it together?
I think doesn't NZXT ship fully built systems?
Well, I guess they do, as well as cases.
Right. I'm guessing that these are... Oh, maybe not. Okay, you might be right. I'm not quite sure. My argument would be, though, is that, well, and there might be system integrators that are using that case, too.
That is actually a high possibility, yeah, let's say.
My argument would be, though, is that if you don't know... Oh, and if you're a system integrator that's using these cases, I would probably be getting my rear end in gear right now.
Oh, it's time to... Yeah, it's not good.
I'd be getting my rear end in gear right now and shipping these kits out to people or figuring out a way to get them, fixed up here.
Yeah, time to send angry emails to NZXT representatives that maybe you contacted. I don't know. I mean, presumably you had to talk to someone to get your supply of cases, right? So time to send angry emails to them, I guess.
Your account rep.
Your customer relations person or whatever.
So here's how to temporarily fix the H1 safety issue. Power down the H1, unplug the H1, remove the graphics card, remove the lower riser cable or retention screw from the H1 as indicated in the image below. Okay.
Wow.
Hold on. Oh, son of a gun. Hold on. There you go. As indicated in the image on your screen right now. Let's see here. Yep. What else do customers need to know? We are working closely with the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the proper global authorities to ensure that we are doing everything we can to help NZXT customers. The CPSC...
Reed, we are doing as little as possible to not get in trouble with regulators.
The CPSC's function is to help people use products safely, and we have been adhering to their strongly recommended schedule for releasing information to our suppliers and to the public. We take this issue seriously and are working as quickly as we can to address it. Let me translate. Let's see. We're listening to our lawyers.
Yes.
In terms of releasing information to our suppliers and to the public. We take this issue very seriously. We're just saying that because we know we're in trouble. And we're working as quickly as we can to address it and not get our rear ends in trouble. Is that pretty accurate, you think, Zach?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this is from the LTT forums. The person that published this on there says that they think that NZXT's response to this is lackluster. And again, according to the video that I saw this morning from Gamers Nexus, it sounds like they have reached out to NZXT for comment, and NZXT has just kind of ignored them. So, you know, that makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Let's see. So they say that it's a good thing that they've set up a separate support, halted sales, and made some public feedback. But in this, they didn't even detail the problem itself or link to the second post that discovered around 20 days earlier than coming out with it. Oh yeah, no big deal. You know, your case will just spontaneously combust or, you know, spontaneously catch fire. No biggie. No biggie, right, Zach?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Let's see. They say that they understand that looking into the issues takes a couple of days, especially right now, but that doesn't excuse them from hinting at so many things without giving a proper breakdown of the problem. Especially considering we're talking about a $350 case.
$350? What? Wow. That's pretty bonkers.
The screws catch fire. Just take it out. Or, sorry, I mean, just yank hard. I actually don't know what that's a reference to. That was just a tweet there. Somebody says, wow, a new feature. No, somebody else says LN2 is your friend. Hey, no better time to cool your system than with LN2, right, Zach?
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. Let's see. I'm curious to see what we got going on here. Somebody on Reddit says, do you think most of us are safe from the fire incident like some of the NZXT H1 have experienced? It seems like they are having the issue with the riser cable. Oh, okay. From Windows Central here, Zach. The NZXT H1 PC case is available for purchase again directly from NZXT. The case was recalled due to a safety concern on December 22nd, 2020. These topics are a little bit old, but the issue has since been addressed and people can purchase the PC case again. The NZXT H1 is available now for $350. Why would you spend Why would you spend $350 on a case?
I don't know.
How much did you spend on your case, Zach?
Like $80 maybe?
You did get a new case, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, a year and a half ago.
Well, yeah, but still. The safety concern was a fire hazard caused by screws that could potentially cause an electrical short circuit. NZXT described the issue in more detail when it issued the safety recall. Since that recall, NZXT has addressed the issue, which presumably includes swapping the screws and placed the case back on its website. The company notes that the case will slowly roll out to other retailers such as Amazon, but is currently only available on NZXT's website. As for the case itself, it's a vertically designed tower. The price tag may seem high, but for that price, you get more than just the chassis. Okay, let's see here. Oh. Okay, you can tell me what you think of this. So for that price, Zach, you also get a 650 watt SFX power supply.
Is it good though?
That's what I wonder. Because usually the
OEM power or built-in power supplies and cases are very not good.
Yeah, usually when you hear it comes with a power supply included, usually that's a good sign for you to run. Run far, far, far away in the other direction.
Get it out, yep.
80 plus gold certification. You know, I actually don't know if that's any good or not.
That is decent.
Is it?
Yep.
Is it platinum better?
Yep.
Okay.
Most power supplies you see with platinum rating are more than 1,000 watts though, and generally very expensive.
I see. So with 80 plus gold certification and a liquid cooler with a 140 millimeter radiator. Despite being a relatively smaller case that can fit a full-size GPU in size, that means you shouldn't have to pass up any of the best graphics cards for your PC build. Okay, so it comes with a 650 watt, 80 plus gold certified power supply, and a 144 millimeter liquid cooler. I don't know. Do you think that justifies the $350 price tag on there?
No. Probably not, but I don't know, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really a case junkie, okay? Got no idea.
What was I gonna ask? Oh no, you went air cooled this time, didn't you?
Yep.
So what compelled you to change? Because I know you did have a rad on your other
it was just a small one. It just didn't perform as well, you know.
So you didn't consider getting a larger radiator?
Nicer one? Nah. The Air was cheaper.
Well, of course it was
Air
cheaper.
does the job. It is sufficient, you know?
Oh wait, no. We've already talked about this. You wouldn't do it.
What, custom loop? No.
Oh, no, I don't know if I've ever asked you that.
For LN2? No, I'm not doing that either.
LN2. Wait, people actually... I thought that was just a joke. People actually do that?
Yeah.
What? I have to see this.
It's not a joke.
Like, they literally connect like an... Or is it like...
I mean, it's really for extreme overclocking more than anything, but...
Like, do you actually have, like, a tank of LN2, or is it, like, in a... Is it like
I don't know how it's configured. I've never done it. I don't know.
Didn't Intel do something similar, like on a demo on stage or something like that?
Yeah, there was a CPU that they were showing off, and underneath the table where the computer was on, there was like a giant phase change cooling unit. Like, oh, okay. Am I gonna need one of these with my CPU too? Okay, awesome. Gee, that's great.
I'm actually okay. Fine. How practical though is it for somebody to cool their PC with LN2, or is it like a?
Not at all. You have to really need it or really want it. You need to really, really need it.
That's what I thought. That's why I was like, I thought that was kind. It is kind of a joke. It's like it's possible, but it's kind of a joke.
Joke? I mean, I guess like, people do it.
It's not practical. I can't see it being practical, especially like the images that I was seeing. It looks like you actually need an LN2 tank, and if that's the case, it's definitely not practical. I just have a tank of LN2 connected to your PC, you know. That seems like a bit of a safety hazard too. I mean, LN2 is described as a simple asphyxiant. It basically means you release enough of it into the air and it'll knock your rear end out, basically. So yeah. When I watched a video that was like talking about some of the what was it? Some of the or like things to like watch out for when working with LN2. It was like if you experience lightheadedness, dizziness, like dumb judgment, like wanting to lick the liquid nitrogen.
Means, well, what is it, hypoxia?
I'm not quite sure. Wanting to lick the nitrogen, feeling devoid of all.
Hypoxia is lack of oxygen.
Feeling devoid of all feelings or something like that. Whatever the heck that means. It's time to go outside and breathe some fresh air. But yeah. Anyway, so no, what I was gonna say was oil cooled PC, Zach.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing too. Should you do it? Don't know.
Okay. We'll get into Microsoft news in a second here. If I got you all the components, okay, got your case, got you a bunch of what do they use?
Are you asking me if I'd do it?
Yeah,
Why?
would you do it? Just for the simple fact that you get to build a PC.
Depends if I feel like it or not, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know.
But you would never build one on your own. Like, you'd never seek that out.
Unlikely, no.
Actually, do they actually perform any better than just like something with like a water cooled or like
of course,
air cooled?
Of course they do, because people do it. It's just impractical.
I thought it was more of a thing back in the day. I didn't realize I don't think people do it that often anymore now, do they?
I don't know. Asking me so many questions that I do not know. I don't know. I don't keep up with people who do this kind of thing.
I don't know. Anyway, let's see what shenanigans Microsoft got themselves into here. Oh. Microsoft spent most of 2020 building up goodwill for its Xbox Game Pass service and next-gen consoles, but a new Xbox Live Gold price hikes risks wiping all that out. The Xbox maker announced a number of changes to Xbox Live Gold pricing the other day.
I think they went back on the changes. I actually heard about that.
Yep.
They went back on it because people flamed them for it, and they're like, "This is stupid." This
I
is stupid.
was gonna get there, but
I
you're
guess,
right.
Now I don't keep up with anything like Xbox or PlayStation do, but from what I could gather, the issue was
It moved from
that
$60
they
a year,
basically
Zach?
want people. Okay, so the console. Well, I don't know, but well, yeah, actually, I think both of them do.
Well,
both,
hold on.
The consoles make you pay to play online, right? Because of course they do. Why not?
Okay, but the subscription went from $60 a year to $120 a year. That's double, right? Yeah.
Okay, so they basically wanted to bully people who were paying for only the online play service to pay for Game Pass.
Bully people or rape them in the rear end?
Sure. Whatever, right? They wanted to get people to jump up to the next tier of price.
Here's what the article says.
Imagine paying to play online. That's so stupid.
Hello, build a PC. Hashtag PC Master Race. Anyway, the article says that is a huge jump and a badly timed one. No, really?
I'm shocked.
It's happening in the middle of a pandemic, just as Microsoft has reported big boost to its gaming revenue throughout 2020. The reason for the move is obvious, get people on Xbox Game Pass, but Microsoft has done it in a clumsy and poorly timed way. Xbox fans are understandably angry. Microsoft stands alone in being the only major platform holder to force players of Fortnite, Call of Duty, Call of Duty Warzone, and other popular free-to-play games to pay a subscription fee to access What? They're free to play, but they are being a gatekeeper.
But you have to pay to play online.
Like, okay, sure, like, yes, server space, which isn't cheap. Again, Microsoft is a huge company that has...
Okay, but here's the problem, right? So, well, I think it's actually decently understood that they don't make very much money on the sale of the consoles themselves. In fact, historically, some of the consoles have been sold at a loss to get you to
you're right. I've heard that
down the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they make money off of the game sales. They make money off of, I mean, they have Game Pass. They make money off of whatever dealings they have with publishers. You know, they make tons of money.
So the article goes on to say that the fee has now doubled annually for most Xbox players, as the majority of people buy codes to top up their Xbox Live subscription. Microsoft quietly removed these $59.99 12-month codes last year, and the 6-month codes are now priced at $59.99. You can probably still find 12-month codes from resellers and retailers, but they're officially discontinued. So let's see here. So for a 1 month, I don't know if these are what the prices originally were or what they were going to be. For a 1 month subscription for PlayStation Plus, it was $9.99. Xbox Live Gold was $10.99, and the Nintendo Switch Online was $3.99.
Yeah, just imagine even paying a monthly fee just to play online with your internet connection that you probably already pay for.
Let's see. For 12 months, PlayStation Plus was $59.99. Xbox Gold Live did not have an option. And for the Nintendo Switch Online, it was $19.99. $20. Like, not great, but like still. So
Yeah,
this
it's
means that many
just-
Fortnite players will now have to pay $120 a year just to play on an Xbox console. Yeah, because I mean, like, I haven't played Fortnite, but what is Fortnite without multiplayer? Like, isn't that kind of the point of the game?
that is correct.
Fortnite on PlayStation, Nintendo Switch is free, and even on Microsoft's own Windows platform, it's free to play. Way to go there, Microsoft! Way to go!
Well, yeah, I mean the consoles are just, they want to milk the money from the consoles, right? I don't know.
What is the console,
Yeah,
though?
no.
We've already determined that the console basically is a PC at this point.
Well, that's the funny part. Is it's basically just a PC. Well, maybe in times past they resembled PCs less, but they've just converged more and more and more until it's just basically a pre-built PC with a custom OS on it.
Yeah, right? When can we start running Windows on it?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if whatever Microsoft calls the Xbox operating system, I don't know what they call it, but I'm sure under the hood it's very similar to Windows.
Oh, I'm sure. Remember, they wanted to do that with Windows 8.
Pretty soon, maybe the next Xbox will just have Windows on it. And it will just be like a pre-built PC.
They're finally give in. They're just like, the Xbox is now a PC.
Except they're still going to charge you to play online and, stupid stuff like that, right? Why not? And
Look-
they just love subscriptions, right? You can subscribe to an Xbox. Like, as in, you can subscribe to have a physical console.
Wait,
You don't even have to buy your own console now. You can subscription that too.
how do you access it then? Through the internet?
You pay, and then you get an Xbox.
Oh,
In
so
your
you're like
living room.
renting one.
You basically rent a console. Yes, exactly. Why? I don't know, but okay, I guess, it's
I understand the appeal behind gaming consoles because for the average person, it's a device that you can take out of the box.
yes, they value the
set
fact
up-
that you can just plug it in and it works.
And it just works. But like at what cost at this point,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is, it's unsurprising they want more money for that convenience.
Let's see. Oh, here's the best part. Microsoft's announcement doesn't even attempt. To be clear, they have reverted this decision, but we'll just read through the shenanigans here. Microsoft's announcement doesn't even attempt to justify the price hike. In a blog post that reads, like it was written by a lawyer, Microsoft's periodically we assess the value and I'm sorry, hang on.
Oh, it just drips with corporate speak, doesn't it?
Let me try that again. Periodically, we assess the value and pricing of our service to reflect changes in regional marketplaces and to continue to invest in the Xbox community. Before announcing the changes, the only justification is we invest in our community by strengthening the digital safety of our players, enabling new ways to share, communicate, and play with your friends, and delivering industry-leading reliability across our network.
Innovating new ways to milk our players for money, and strengthening the milking procedures of our players for more money, and I don't even remember what the last thing was. Whatever.
Delivering industry-leading reliability across our network.
Oh yes, of course. Whatever. Of course. Stupid.
What Microsoft's announcement doesn't detail is the real reason for these price changes. Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft quickly merged to entice 10 million people onto Xbox Game Pass last year with $1 deals and more. That figure soon jumped 50% to 15 million in September, making Xbox Game Pass look like a very clever bet for Microsoft. As we've seen, though, with everything that Microsoft does, I think we said this before, how will Microsoft inevitably screw this up in the end? It's like, okay, like,
have we forgotten that it's like nearly impossible to even get a console to begin with still?
yeah, just rent one.
just rent one. Idiot. Of course. Just rent the console. Yes. Well, I'm sure a lot of people have done that because they cannot get one any other way, right?
Yeah. Let's see. What Microsoft? Oh no, we just read that. Okay. Xbox Game Pass has been praised widely, but Microsoft is now clearly trying to aggressively move its existing Xbox Live Gold player base over to the service. Microsoft is allowing Xbox Live Gold subscribers to switch to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is usually $14.99 a month, and convert the amount of time in months or years into Ultimate subscriptions. That's a good initial deal for Xbox Live Gold subscribers, but the end goal is clear for Microsoft to earn more revenue per Xbox user in the future once they're hooked to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and everything it offers, of course. But yeah, let's see here. On January 23rd, this was updated. Microsoft has completely backtracked on the entire price hike decision below. It will not increase the price and will instead make multiplayer free for free-to-play games.
Yes.
Way to go, Microsoft. Way to go.
Very stupid.
Look, if only people did that with like ISPs and other shenanigans.
That would be good, yes.
Let's see here. Hey, Zach, some kids found a security flaw in Cinnamon Desktop in Linux by just mashing keys.
Good job.
So
security.
The myth is that if you want a super secret password, you let your cat run over your keyboard. But in a recent incident, a security flaw was discovered by two harmless kids by simply mashing the keyboard. The GitHub issue was raised a few weeks back, and it looks like the Linux Mint team has finally fixed it. Security flaws can be incredibly stupid and dangerous, of course. They're not judging anyone. We are humans after all. But this little incident is quite funny. They say, I'm sure many of you must have taunted your kids to try unlocking your computer after you lock it. Similarly, two kids wanted to hack into their dad's Linux desktop. Surprisingly, they actually did what they said. They unlocked access to the computer. My understanding is that basically, yes, there was an issue in there where they just like mashed a bunch of keys together and it like randomly unlocked the computer.
Excellent. I don't know.
You know what I noticed? So we have a piece of software at my employer. And apparently it doesn't care about special characters. Because I had thought that I put a special character in my password somewhere, and I think I forgot to put it in one time, and I hit enter and it let me in.
Oops.
So apparently it just doesn't care about special characters. I don't know if that's a security flaw in the software, or if it like, or what exactly, or maybe it just doesn't accept special characters and it just ignores them. I'm not quite sure. So that was interesting. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so apparently what it does is the mashing the keys crashes the screensaver and then it lets you in.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Speaking of screensavers, I don't know if this is related. Some M1 Mac users have reported screensaver takeover bug. Let's see. So the author of this article said that they've been dealing with one nagging issue. Every once in a while, for reasons that they haven't been able to figure out, a screensaver will suddenly take over the entire computer. Despite the fact that they never use a screensaver, and frustratingly, the screensaver renders the laptop inoperable until it is completely closed and then the screen is reopened. And it seems that this person is not the only person having that bug. According to a Mac Rumors article, others have shared similar issues with M1 equipped MacBook Airs, Pros, and Minis on Mac Rumors forums, Reddit, and Apple's own support forums. And one user on Mac Rumors said they've seen the bug on their 16-inch MacBook Pro, which has an Intel chip, so perhaps this is a problem with Mac OS Big Sur. Okay. Many people reporting this issue in a Reddit forum say that they have had multiple accounts on the same computer, and for what it's worth, this person set up 2 accounts on the MacBook Air. One user on Apple support forums disabled fast user switching, and they said they weren't seeing the screensaver, so perhaps that's a workaround until Apple addresses this bug. You know another bug that I saw the other day? So, I don't know if your phone does this. Mine doesn't, I don't think. But certain phones, I don't know if it's a feature of the phone or the browser or something like that, will, when there's a phone number, it allows you to click on it and it goes straight into your phone app, right?
Yep.
So, at least on Safari on iOS devices the other day, somebody noticed an issue with one of the pages on our website, not our website, the church website, where the links were like changed to like white, so they were not viewable on our website. So, and it wasn't just our website; it was other websites too. So it wasn't something on our end. And apparently there was like some giant security bug or something like that Apple had to release a patch for the other day. And they were like, upgrade immediately. I forget what all the details were, but anyway. I'm just looking back in here at our chat. Razer's latest edible product, chewing gum made for gaming.
Oh man, yeah, that was a good time. Did you see maybe we talked about the Razer mask?
That's what I wanted to show you a couple weeks ago.
God, it's so stupid. I mean, it's just over the top, I guess. A little funny.
Let me see if I can find it real quick here. Apparently it's been out for a while. Project Hazel. World's smartest mask.
When the COVID-19 pandemic...
Gonna mute that real quick here. Let's see here. This is just, I don't know if this is like some PR guy talking about this or what, but can you see this, Zach?
Oh, I can see it now. I'm sure he's some PR guy, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's the mask right there.
That's
active ventilation.
Little, I mean, just imagine wearing this. You're just gonna
it looks uncomfortable.
Crazy. You're just gonna look crazy.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like the regular masks aren't comfortable.
Not the greatest either.
But that looks like hard plastic.
It does, yeah.
Oh yeah, Razer voice amp technology.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh man. Okay, silicone guard. I thought that was plastic, but it must be to create a decent seal. Oh yeah, that's right. I think it's like chargeable, isn't it? It's got RGB on it.
Is it RGB? Of course, asking the real questions.
Oh man. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not a fan of wearing a mask, but like that's what they're saying we're supposed to do, so like I'll do it. In fact, grab this real quick here. So this is what I've been wearing. So nice cloth one. It's got a little piece of metal in the nose piece, so it conforms to my nose a little bit. It actually works pretty decent with my glasses because that's one of the issues. Glasses fog up. Not that you know anything about that, Zach.
No, the eyes work.
Screw you. With my glasses, I actually have better than 20/20 vision. So,
Okay. Okay. All right.
That's kind of my FU back, but
Whatever.
Anyway, and I would imagine you're probably wearing something similar at work.
Rarely. Only when I have to leave my desk.
Oh, you're separated enough that.
Yep.
I see. Did they get rid of the robot?
Yes. The robot is gone. The robot has been replaced with a tablet that has like a stupid temperature scanner attached to it, and the Wi-Fi isn't very effective in that room, so it doesn't work very well. It's always having problems. And they keep... it doesn't even... It just airs out a lot of the time, too, which is just awesome, They had it fine. They had it great, okay? And then they just updated it some more and it broke.
So apparently Tier 2 needs to add another access point to that area of the building. Is that what you're telling me for better coverage? And then just quit dinking with it because it was working fine?
Just get vaccines. It will amplify the 5G.
Have you seen that there's like products now that you can like put around your router and stuff like that?
Sure. Yeah. If you put 5G blocking materials around your router, it won't work anymore. God, I saw a funny picture of like one of those bogus products that's like some crap you can put on your router to like block the mind control or whatever, and someone left a bad review that it made it stop working.
No, really? I thought that was the point of it.
Oh, really? Wow, it's almost like it did exactly what it promised it would do.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, well, I have one other quick little thing. I don't know if this is actually true anymore because these topics are a couple weeks old, but a judge has refused to reinstate Parler's Amazon account, Zach.
Okay.
A Washington judge has denied social network Parler's demands to be reinstated on Amazon's web services following a hearing a few weeks ago. The judge declined to grant a preliminary injunction and a lawsuit against Amazon, saying Parler's provided dwindling slight evidence for an antitrust complaint and failed to allege basic facts of improper business activity. Again, not to get too political here.
Yeah, that situation is so...
But, again, Amazon is a privately held company that has the right to allow or deny anyone on their platform that they choose. That's just what it is. And they have a set of standards that they have determined. Parler and many other companies, the same thing. Google, Apple have determined that that the direction that Parler has decided to go does not fit with their views, and so
I actually heard
not to allow them onto the platform.
I actually heard an interesting take on that made me think a little bit. So right now, we don't really care that much about when companies like that lose their hosting or whatever because they do stupid stuff. But what if Amazon or all the big tech companies or whoever just decided, we're going to kick such and such company off because we don't like them? Just for that reason, not anything else.
You're right. It does open an interesting conversation.
There are definitely some questions there.
The argument that these companies are making is that the language that is being posted on the Parler platform is of a violent nature, and their terms of service, rightfully, say that kind of behavior is not allowed, or giving a platform to people to advance that behavior and those messages is not something that they want to be associated with. So there you go. That's what I got. We don't have time to get into a major discussion about that right now, but anyway. With that said, thanks for joining us. Thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. Get subscribed down below if you haven't done that already. Turn on the bell for notifications. We will see you next week. Goodbye.